Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen, welcome back to Sunday morning in the Old Cookbook Show. Today we're going to revisit the Canadian Farm Cookbook. This was published in 1910 by Canadian Farm. It is ostensibly a community cookbook. All the recipes are sent in by people who read Canadian Farm. As much as it's called Canadian Farm, most of the recipes in here are from Southern Ontario, sort of Windsor to Ottawa. Very few recipes from the rest of Canada. And I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe it's just where Canadian Farm was distributed that sort of played into it. A lot of good recipes in here, and I think they're good recipes mostly because they're things that I'm familiar with, since part of my family lived on a farm, and we're all farmers in Southern Ontario. These are all things that I've seen through my lifetime. And I'm revisiting it today for a parsnip recipe. We're going to do fried parsnips. So this is a parsnip. Kind of looks like a carrot. Doesn't really taste like a carrot. It's a little bit woody. Growing up, whenever we had parsnips, they were always mashed, often with rutabaga, or sometimes mashed with carrots. Carrots and parsnips cooked together and then mashed, always with lots of butter. Usually with a little bit of honey. But we never ate them on their own. And so I've taken 2 parsnips and I've kind of cut it up into slices like that. And we're supposed to boil it in salted water until it's a little bit soft. So I'm only going to do a few to start with. Let's get that many in there and see what happens. Okay, so I've got a frying pan. I'm going to put that on this over here. I'm going to turn it on just to low. And I'm going to put some butter in the bottom of the pan. We'll get that to melting. I'm not sure how quickly I need to move with all of this when it actually gets down to time. Pie plate with some flour in it. We'll season that with some pepper and some salt. The recipe mentions that an egg, if you've got an egg, that would sort of help it out. I'm not going to use an egg today. We'll just go with the flour on its own. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit to cook. Growing up, I never had parsnips done this way. And parsnips are kind of a divisive vegetable. Well, I shouldn't say that. Most people hate parsnips. So it's not really divisive. There are very few people who actually enjoy them, I think. So, I'm going to pull them out of the boiling water and drop them right into the flour. Like so many of these recipes, very light on instruction. You're just supposed to know, which is strange. Why would you put a recipe that everyone's just supposed to know how to cook in a cookbook? It's kind of like little pieces of perch and fish crisp. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's get them over to the fire. Okay. Floured parsnips into the butter. I'm not sure how much butter there should be in there. I was thinking it was just pan fried, not shallow fried. So you're just supposed to brown them. Flip them over. I mean, it's vegetable, so it's already cooked. It's something that you can eat raw. I think you're just frying it to get a little bit of flavor on the outside with the butter and the flour. Okay, get these out onto the plate and we'll see what Julie thinks.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Jules.
Hey, friends.
Oh, it's parsnip.
I think it's good raw.
Okay.
You think I need a fork? Those parsnips, they kind of look like fish sticks.
That's funny because when I put them in the flour, I thought, oh, they look like little pieces of perch in fish crisp. Okay. One of 3 fried parsnips recipes in this cookbook.
Oh, I think I got 2 there. Well, I guess I'm burdened with 2. How hot? Too hot? Glenn says too hot. So I'll talk amongst my friends. How are you today? I hope you had a lovely day. Did you enjoy the weather? It was very nice and sunny here, which was a surprise because we were expecting rain. And now that you've burnt your tongue?
Surprisingly good. Surprisingly good. Wow.
So what is on them? I mean, just your standard.
Just flour, salt, and pepper, fried in butter.
There you go.
That's kind of wild. Okay.
I'm trying to. I mean, yeah, they're not. I'm trying to figure out why I would want to do this though. Why? I mean, I'm not that fond of parsnips mash, so yeah, I guess for me it's a great substitute.
Well, I mean, parsnips is a root cellar vegetable. Like, it is something that you can. They're easy to grow. They're abundant to grow, and they
I ate lots of them.
yeah, they hold for a very long time. They're relatively inexpensive, and so that's something that you can grow. And I imagine if you were living, well, Mrs. W.H. Boyd from Rodney, Ontario, probably grew a lot of parsnips.
We always ate them with carrots.
Yes, mashed
And then with potatoes, the three of them all mixed together.
Yep.
Yep.
But that is good. And
It's a nice change. It's a very nice change from, and if you could figure out how to make it like a nice crispy version,
really crispy. Yeah.
that would be.
Maybe dip an egg, then a dip in the flour, not too much flour, and then a hotter oil, not butter, although the butter tastes really good, but butter
I can smell the butter.
Yeah, butter burns at maybe ghee.
Yeah. Add a little more than salt and pepper. Like,
Yeah.
there's lots of, you could do a lot of fun things.
Get them a little crisper on the outside. I mean, you could deep fry them, but now you're entering a whole other, yeah.
And then I wonder, what do carrots taste like this?
Carrots probably be really
Right?
good.
Because,
like
I mean,
too.
potatoes like this, we already know it's common, right? The battered, flavored potatoes fried.
And I don't think it needs anything more than the salt and pepper. Okay, I'm really surprised by that.
Clearly.
And if you hate parsnips, this might be the answer. Because they're not anything that I associate with a parsnip. That's really good. Okay,
There you go. Surprises.
thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end. Thanks for watching to the very end of the video, and thanks for watching this next little bit. Once again, in 2025, I am raising money for Hope Air and participating in the Give Hope Wings flight across Canada that both raises funds for the Hope Air charity, but also raises awareness in the various communities that we stop in, and in the wider community through you, that this service exists and that this needs to be met. Hope Air is a charity that allows Canadians who need healthcare that is not available in their community to travel to the larger cities in Canada where that need can be met. Canada geographically is a massive country, and some communities are pretty far flung, and people end up having to drive 12, 14 hours to get to where the treatment exists that they need. And while healthcare in Canada is universal, any Canadian shows up at the door of the hospital, care is freely given. You have to get to the hospital, or you have to get where the treatment is administered. And for a lot of people, this can be a very difficult time in their life. They're juggling a lot of things. They may not have the financial resources to fly to Toronto and put themselves up in a hotel room for a couple of nights and meals and so on and so forth. And Hope Air is a charity that takes care of that, takes that burden away, takes that weight off of people's shoulders, and allows them to just get well. So my part in this is to raise awareness and to raise money. I work with other pilots who fly some of these people who are seeking treatment from smaller flying communities to larger centers like Thunder Bay, where they can get a commercial airliner that will take them to Toronto or Winnipeg, so on and so forth. And over the last couple of years, we've raised a lot of money for Hope Air. Last year alone, you donated around $40,000 to help out with this cause. I'm very grateful for that. I feel very blessed that we have created a community here on YouTube, amongst everything else that's going on in the world, where we can help people. So once again, I'm doing this. Once again, we're flying. I will be putting the itinerary down in the description box of the places we're going to be in early June, where you can stop in and we can meet. Also links to Hope Air Charity so that you can check them out, see what they do. And if you're moved to help, there will be a link to the fundraising page. For everyone who has given in the past, I thank you enormously. And everyone who is about to give, thank you.